All right, well, I'm getting all packed up here and getting ready to leave. I've been out here for a couple of nights. My first winter trip in my cargo trailer conversion. I thought I'd do a little bit of a walkthrough. Now, I'm going to say three things before we get started. One, I did this on quite a bit of a budget. Two, I am not a carpenter, not even close. And three, I fully expect this to take me a few years to get it really ironed out and dialed in how I want it. So for right now, a lot of the stuff in here is just kind of make it work and use it for a while to decide exactly how we want to organize the space and build it out. And so we purchased this in the summer, and I knew I didn't have there was a lot of stuff that had to happen to this to make it watertight and to fix some of the problems that these utility trailers have. There's a long list. We won't get into that in this video. I just want to do a walkthrough. But there's a lot of things that had to get done before winter time. I don't have a garage, so I'm working in the driveway, and I didn't want to get too far into a big build out and not be able to seal the wood, paint, and do stuff like that, where right now it's just too cold to do that. So it is at a usable state, but it's a little rough. So let's go let's walk around the outside real quick, and then we'll head inside. So first things first, this is a Victory Trailers. It's the 12-footer. I don't remember the height. I think it's about 7 feet high, and it's at the single axle. It weighs 1,300 pounds as you purchase it, and that's what I wanted. I wanted lightweight, and I wanted it very mobile with the single axle. It's just more mobile when you get out in the boons and you're trying to get in and out of campsites or traverse sections that are nasty. You've got to be very careful with your weight distribution, and if you have a blowout, could be potentially a big problem. Anyways, all that aside, get into that stuff in another video. So for right now, basically with the front, didn't do a whole lot. Doubled up the screws and the sheets, so just to help hold it together better. We'll walk over to the side here. This came with the side door, but it did not come with that RV latch. It's a cam lock. Now, I actually like this setup very well. The RV latch is good for in and out and while you're camping, but you can shut the cam lock and secure it a little bit better if you while you're traveling, and if you leave it while you're out doing stuff. I installed some brackets and an ARB awning. Got some 4,500 pound stabilizing jacks. I went with these heavy duty ones so that I can pick the trailer up one or the other in case I need to get real crazy with leveling it. But also the nice benefit is I can pick it up and change a tire. Or for a theft deterrent, you can pick it up and actually pull your tires off. So that's pretty nice. I did a whole lot of work to this thing. We'll get into that in another video, but basically I pulled all the sheets off. I sealed the seams, and I doubled up the amount of fasteners and put a row of fasteners here and cut the sheet and raised it up so that the fasteners did not go into the frame. Not much to talk about in the rear. Doubled up the fasteners, sealed everything up really good. Now this is padlocked and zip tied shut because I don't use it right now. And on this side, just not much. Doubled up the fasteners and a window. So the windows, I bought this window specifically because it fits between the wall studs there, and I did not want huge windows to get busted out by branches, and it lets less heat in the summer and less heat out in the winter. So these are emergency exit windows, so if something ever did happen, I've got one on each side. They work out pretty good so far. And then I've just got one of these real small ones. This is actually set in between the framing of the door. And that's about it. There's a lot more we'll get into in another video, but right now let's do a walkthrough of the interior. Alright, so here it is. Pretty basic. The setup here is just a simple workbench style build out. Again, I'm not a carpenter, and a lot of this is just not the best materials, lightweight, but it's temporary. until we decide how we want to do the whole front setup. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money and put a bunch of weight in here knowing that we're probably going to change how it is. So simple layout here, and then just purchase some of these lightweight plastic organizers, and they work out pretty good. They're fairly affordable and they're lightweight. So they're modular, we can move them around as we want. We can use them later. So the walls and the ceiling are insulated. The ceiling is covered with 1/4-inch plywood, 1-inch thick foam board with some spray foam insulation on the corners and some of the gaps. The front wall is the same way. It's about 1.5 inches thick spray foam. Now the walls are the original plywood that came with the trailer. It's not bad stuff. They just, yeah, it's okay. The ceiling stuff I had to buy. I went with 1/4 inch because it's flexible. This is an arched ceiling on here. It's flexible and lightweight. With this thing being 1,300 pounds dry, I didn't want to just throw a whole bunch of heavy weight on here. So this is basically the front. You got the kitchen area here, and then storage and all that stuff. Just got a little power bank here, a little Blue Eddy. Now, again, another one of those temporary things. This is basically for charging small devices and running these lightweight lights here. They go all around the edge. Just some lightweight, low power draw lighting, and then the rest is just rechargeable lanterns, and it works out pretty good. So you've got some room here where the cooler is. We'll have to do something else in the summer when we need a bigger cooler, but this is working out pretty well. There's room here for another cabinet, or maybe a heater or a stove, wood stove or something like that. We've got this little dinette. Again, pretty simple. It's just boxed in. There's storage underneath here, and then the table folds down or lays down, and this folds into a queen size bed. That's 5-inch thick upholstery foam. Pretty decent. The only thing I didn't insulate as far as the walls go are the rear doors. We'll get to that. We'll get there. So far, I don't feel it that much, so that's not too big of a deal. The floor is also not insulated. It is 3/4 inch plywood, and then I've got this foam on top of it, these fatigue mats. It could be better, but honestly, for right now, it works pretty good. You can see these windows here. The nice thing about these, they do have screens, but I don't have them in because it's winter time. It just lets a little more light in. But you can push these out, climb out if you need to, or jump out. The nice thing is you can have these open when it's raining and still get a lot of ventilation, so that's pretty nice. At some point, shelving and all that stuff's going to go in with a vent hood for cooking and all that, but for right now, just pop the window open. I've got a little fan, a little USB powered fan that works good for extracting fumes and moisture. Yeah, that's about it. Pretty simple. So I've got a diesel heater there, and I just put it outside underneath a little picnic table, and then I've got an adapter that goes in this window. It slides up, the adapter goes in here, and my heater port comes in here. Is that perfect? No, but it does work. It gets it pretty comfortable in here in about 45 minutes, and it works pretty good. The nice thing about diesel heat is that it is very dry heat, so you can actually dry some clothes out, crack 1 or 2 of these windows open to let some of the moisture out, but you can dry clothes out and that sort of thing. A lot of people like the little buddy heaters. Those put out so much moisture. If you use that to heat this up, you can really feel it. It feels damp, and it doesn't do a good job drying clothes out. So the diesel heat is working really good so far. I like it. That's about it. If you have any questions, let me know. I wanted this to be a quick walkthrough, just kind of show what I've been working on. Some people were asking what I've been up to, and this is it. So I really had to slam hard on this to get it to this usable state before winter hit. Like I said, I work in my driveway. I don't have a garage, and I wanted to get to this point before building any more and covering up. At some point, I'm going to take all this back down and seal all of the wood in here. And that just because you're going to have a lot of moisture in here no matter how you do it. And I definitely want to seal all that off before I start building even more. Just as a preventative to keep mold and rot down to a minimum. So anyways, that's about it. Basically all this stuff gets stowed away when we travel. Water goes down there, dishes go in one of these totes. Alright, speaking of traveling, I gotta get out of here. I still gotta hitch up, secure all this stuff, get out of here, and then take the chains off the truck. Yeah, winter camping is, it's a lot of work. It's rewarding, but it's a lot of work. Alright, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, and I'll try and get back to as many of those as possible. I will probably put another video out going into the hows and whys a little bit deeper for those that are interested, if there's enough interest. All right. Anyways, bye for now.